With a flurry of spells and a strike of a weapon, 5 of the world's greatest SMITE stars prevailed. The Jade Dragons have done it, fighting through some of the greatest teams at the 2022 SMITE Summer Masters event. Fine OK, Pagon, Scream, Polar Bear Mike and Panda Cat achieved a narrow 3-2 result in the tournament's best-of-5 grand final bracket.
From the map, the Jade Dragons put the crown on their own head, and it's Panda Cat with 3 that has just sealed the deal. Big Man Tings will be walled off once more. Double kill for Pagon, triple kill for Panda. And all 5 to the Jade Dragons in Game 5 to your SMITE Summer Masters champion.
Look, you're looking at a team that came in.
As fate would have it, the SMITE Dream Team prevailed. But their road to the top spot in the $105,000 prize pool tournament would be full of challenges that almost saw the 5-man squad eliminated early. After qualifying from the group stage, the Jade Dragons would have their skills put to the test in the tournament's quarter-finals matchup. It was there where their opponent's Hex Mambo came out swinging. With just 5k gold and 6 eliminations the difference, Polar Bear Mike and the crew felt their first loss. With a stable draft and a refreshed strategy, the Jade Dragons went all in on a reverse sweep to take back the best-of-3 series. Panda Cat's arrows found their targets. The Hunter Star lapped up 7 eliminations and 2 assists in a 27-minute Game 2. His contribution helped push the series into a Game 3 decider match, a do-or-die for Summer Masters progression. Hex Mambo's endurance started to fall off as Fine OK, Scream and Pagon claimed heads on their way to a 21.5-minute Game 3 victory. The third match was dominated by the Jade Dragons, who had now rightfully earned their seat in the best-of-5 semi-finals.
The Phoenix has been broken. The base is open. Charlie, we're on pace to the fastest game of the weekend. BBM will pull in Deathwalker. The Titan is at a quarter HP, and the Jade Dragons, you may stop their winning game streak, but you will not stop their set streak.
With swords drawn and spells at the ready, the Jade Dragons entered the best-of-5 semi-finals bracket, where they would meet in combat with the Oni Warriors, another headstrong team who are finding success all weekend long. Pagon and the crew asserted their dominance in the first game, but it was the results of the second that turned heads in the online competition. The Oni Warriors took apart the Jade Dragons piece by piece, with votes sitting on 8 eliminations, Cuvo Fred on 7, and a Titan that hit the battlefield with only 2 Oni Warrior players still standing. In the end, the 13k gold difference made a huge impact in the final seconds of the game. Great team communication and a strategy in the drafting phase won Jade Dragons the following 2 games. The series ended with a massive 14k gold difference, a sure sign that the Jade Dragons were grand finals material, and this time around, the Oni Warriors were not.
A 4-game set, 3 games.
That is ridiculous from the Dragons.
Games 1 and 3, where the Warriors look, I think, incredible, even though they find losses. I think that they are in a spot where they looked really good compared to where they looked a couple of weeks ago. Should be proud.
That is unbelievable.
The Jade Dragons had certainly earned their seat at the SMITE Summer Masters grand final table. But 5 other highly skilled players were waiting for them in the 11th hour of the competition. The Camelot Kings were easily the ones to fear going into the weekend bracket. Variety, Genetics, Netrioid, Captain Twig and Big Man Tings made waves in the playoffs, defeating World Championship finalists Atlantis Leviathans and the Tartarus Titans on their way to Grand Finals qualification.
Maybe things go their way, but it was just too much to ask.
With bands like Daji, Hunbats and Kepri coming out from the Jade Dragons, strategies on both sides started to form. The mid lane would be a battle between Merlin and Eset, as Big Man Tings and Pagon fought for control. A massive 15 minutes went by before the first elimination was claimed. With the Pyromancer slaughtered, Variety and Captain Twig powered down Polar Bear Mike for first blood in Game 1. Efficiently farming jungle camps and laneways, the Jade Dragons kept a healthy gold lead. When fights were picked, Panda Cat and the crew were always one step ahead, putting the Camelot Kings on the back foot. With the Fire Giant buff in effect, the Jade Dragons stormed the left side Phoenix to weaken the lane. Netrioid and Variety bit the dust while defending. So while Camelot King player numbers were down, the Jade Dragons went for the jugular.
From minute 1 to minute 28, the Dragons have been in control of Game 1, and they will end Game 1 and take a 1-0 lead in these best-of-5 finals.
They struck while the iron was hot and punished the Camelot Kings in dominating fashion. After a moment of reflection, the 10 grand finalists reset themselves for Game 2. Scream would take to the jungle on Lancelot, while his Camelot Kings counterpart, Captain Twig, sought farm on Erlong Shen.
The 2 members of the Camelot Kings.
A fight for first blood broke out at the 5.5-minute mark, where Variety, Scream and Genetics hit the deck. The Jade Dragons once again led the early game.
It's only the 1 kill brought back gives the Camelot Kings.
Picking fights early didn't end well for the team in red, as their jungler, support and solo laner fell hard and fast on the battlefield. Fine OK and Pagon were building up experience and gold before returning to the laneways. 14 minutes went by before Panda Cat secured the first tower of Game 2, further increasing the Jade Dragons' gold lead. Despite their challenges in the early game, the Camelot Kings found redemption. The Fire Giant was claimed at the 24-minute mark, which led to a massive gold swing in favour of the team in red. Playing cautiously, the Jade Dragons had to forfeit their Tier 2 towers in order to wait for the right team fight conditions. Unfortunately, that time never came. The Fire Giant buff was still active when Fine OK, Pagon and Scream were eliminated. With only Polar Bear Mike left to defend, the Camelot Kings unleashed havoc on an open Titan to even the Grand Final series to 1 aside.
With this composition from the Dragons, I think I'd rather deal Genetics' Yamoja than the Ymir, right? If I'm banning Y-Gods, you got something out there and you've got to look for it. I think there were a lot of good plays, like you said, proactive from the get-go for the Dragons. And then it felt like it might have gone a
Game 2 proved that the SMITE Summer Masters was anyone's to win. The Jade Dragons and the Camelot Kings had to formulate stronger game plans, leading into the second half of the best-of-5 grand finals. The battle for the SMITE Summer Masters was raw and real, as the Jade Dragons and the Camelot Kings stood at 1 game aside in the best-of-5 grand final series. An early rotation to the mid lane saw Captain Twig take down Pagon for first blood at only a minute and a half into Game 3. The Kings had to pick and choose their battles cautiously in order to avoid any reckless deaths. Although it was a low-scoring game, the Kings kept well ahead of their opponents in gold. Towers fell uncontested, as Variety and the squad played passively, leading into the late game. In a risky move, the Jade Dragons stole the Fire Giant at the 20-minute mark, but it came at a cost. Panda Cat was chased down and eliminated by Netrioid, as an infuriated Camelot Kings missed out on the all-important boost in stats. Maintaining the lead and map control, the Camelot Kings attempted to zone out their opponents before engaging with the next Fire Giant. The last thing the 5-man squad needed was another steal. Jade Dragon Phoenix Towers were levelled in seconds, as a dangerous 5-man force came knocking on the enemy throne room. Keeping consistent with Fire Giant kills, the Camelot Kings mounted their final attack near the 40-minute mark, where a troubled Jade Dragons fought an unwinnable battle.
Reaching the Titan room, the damage dealers got to deal their damage from the Jade Dragons, but the Kings funnel their way onto the Titan, and there is no pushback. Takes them 40 minutes, but the Camelot Kings convincingly, in 7-1 fashion, put themselves on championship point.
The Jade Dragons were in a world of trouble. They needed to defeat their SPL rivals in 2 more games in order to take the summer title, a task that would prove difficult but not impossible. That dream became reality as Fine OK opened up with first blood on Variety. Underneath their own tower, Captain Twig and Variety were punished, but Scream fell in the heated conflict. Hearts were pounding as team fights continuously broke out in the jungle and mid lane. Camelot Kings casualties rose as Captain Twig, Variety and Genetics were obliterated by the entire Jade Dragons lineup. After taking down 2 Camelot Kings Phoenix towers, the laneways were pushed in. While the team in red defended, a window of opportunity opened up for the Jade Dragons to take the Fire Giant and begin their final assault. Down in experience, gold and player count, the Kings watched on in disappointment as the Jade Dragons defeated their Titan and brought the Grand Final Series into a tiebreaker match.
It's 3 members of the Kings, 4 members of the Jade Dragons, and a descent into madness from Fine OK. The Jade Dragons want it. The Jade Dragons get it. Game 5 in the SMITE Summer Masters Grand Final.
And a triple kill sprinkle.
It all came down to one final grudge match to see who would walk away SMITE champions. The solo laners would fight for supremacy on Bellona and King Arthur, while Hunters Netrioid and Pandacat fought for control of the late game on Chernobog and Freya. The Jade Dragons demanded first blood. Fine OK chipped away at Variety's health before Scream dove hard and fast under the tower to claim the elimination. With Captain Twig down and only Variety left to defend, the Jade Dragons took down their first Tier 1 tower of the game, increasing their gold lead further at the 15-minute mark. In an attempt to prevent the Jade Dragons from taking the Fire Giant, the Camelot Kings initiated combat. Big Man Tings and Captain Twig fell in the onslaught, followed up by Netrioid, Variety and the blue team's right side Tier 2 tower. A disastrous result for the Camelot Kings, who are now 3 eliminations and 3k gold behind their opposition. The team's reward was the Fire Giant. Captain Twig and Variety both lost their lives when trying to steal the kill. Things went from bad to worse through poor decisions for the Camelot Kings. 2 Phoenix Towers, Genetics and Netrioid fell in Jade Dragon's pursuit of victory, adding insult to injury. This type of pressure snowballed out of control. Each member of the Camelot Kings fell one by one as the more superior team this match rushed forward into the final throne room.
The Jade Dragons put the crown on their own head, and it's Pandacat with 3 that has just sealed the deal. Big Man Tings will be walled off once more. Double kill for Pagon, triple kill for Panda, and all 5 to the Jade Dragons in Game 5 to your SMITE Summer Masters champion.
Look, you're looking at a team that keeps...
The Jade Dragons rose up as the strongest team that weekend and have now become a leading threat, moving into Phase 2 of the SMITE Pro League 2022.
The Dragons have been...
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the amazing eSport content from around the gaming globe. Only on Unbeaten Esports.